If you found yourself here, you're probably wondering, what is Manscending? That's a good question, but to answer that, I've got to rewind a little bit. When I was 5, my family moved from a small town in Pennsylvania to Singapore, just about on the other side of the planet. Now I was a curious kid, so I asked the obvious question: why? My parents patiently sat me down and did their best to explain, but as soon as I started getting answers, I started asking more questions. Since then, I've been lucky enough to travel around the world and experience how different we are from each other. From how we look to how we act, the languages we speak, the food that we cook. There's a lot going on out there. But asking questions, I could keep an open mind. It was a reminder that what makes me uncomfortable isn't necessarily wrong, just different. And by learning more about how others are different, I found it easier to be different myself. It was being different that brings me to Manscending. When someone I loved told me that I wasn't man enough for them, it felt like a part of me that I did not know existed had been punched. Once again, I started to ask questions. If I'm not man enough, how do I become more man? How do I feel more manly? What's the problem with not being man enough? What's so great about being a man in the first place? These questions led me to some answers I wasn't really prepared for. Last year, men took their own lives over 3.5 times more often than women. The vast majority of people incarcerated are men, particularly men of color. Men are the most likely perpetrators of violence against others, including other men, I might add, whether through sexual assault, school shootings, or acts of terrorism. I mean, what the hell? And on top of that, higher education throughout the country teaches us that men have been guiding Western civilization through a patriarchy based on dominance and power. As more women bravely speak of the experiences they've had at the hands of men, I am more and more embarrassed to be one. But I refuse to believe that we are inherently dominant or aggressive or selfish, that that's what it takes to be a man. So that brings me here, to Manscending. Now, I don't know if there are right answers to all of the questions I have, but that won't stop me from asking them and sharing what I find. That's what this is, really. Manscending is a call to question, to be curious about manhood and how we make it work for ourselves. Because I love being a man. I love feeling strong, feeling resilient, being courageous, finding honor and responsibility, having people I love count on me, and being able to count on myself. But is that even what being a man is all about? I don't know. And that's just it. I'm excited to explore, to learn, to share, but I'm scared too. I'm scared I don't have any authority to speak on any of this stuff, that I might be alone in this line of flight. But who knows? Maybe this leap of faith in manhood will bring us closer together as men, as people. So subscribe if you're interested in joining me on this journey. Like if you liked it. And with all that said, I offer you a question. What part of masculinity, your own or others, makes you proud? See you next time.